I I can't even believe I'm only this late. I was getting these tabs together. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. Whoop whoop. Let's get it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? Candace Owens, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. What is going on? What happened? What happened out of nowhere? Out of nowhere. Erica comes down to the Turning Point studio like a ninja, right? Starts throwing these ninja stars of absolute Fed slop everywhere. And the next thing you know, she disappears into the night. And we're all like, whoa, that was very cringe. That was too much cringe. Did you get hit with the cringe? I got hit with the cringe. And then all of a sudden, Candace comes out of nowhere and she's just like, hello, guess what happened? And Bryan Harpool's like, hey, just so you know, hey, give me some mints. Give me some mints. Not the detonator, just the mints. Thank you. Just so you know, I'm suing you. I'm suing your butt, Candace. What? And then Candace is like, Mikey McCoy. And we're like, what's happening? And then Baron goes off. I mean, what? It was just cringe bombs and truth bombs just going off for the past 24 hours. Just mint, just a mist of mint through the air. I mean, this has been wild, guys. Let's get in. This is this is quite silly, I have to say. The whole thing has been pretty astounding. Okay, pretty astounding for me. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. But we're also gonna talk about something that I haven't seen Candace touch on. And I haven't seen really anybody regards to YouTube touch on it quite yet, which is why all of this is happening to Candace. How is it happening the way it is? There's a little bit of a clue as she's reading through everything that happened. There's a little bit of a clue, but then it gets broken down by a few people. For those of you that are not on X, I will be able to help you out here. It's very weird, very weird. The people who are helping Bryan Harpool sue Candace are familiar people. These people know Candace. They've known Candace for quite some time. They've disliked Candace for even longer. And we'll get into that after we play a bunch of clips, do a little bit of a breakdown here. So let's just jump right in. Let's jump right in with the first clip here. You know, we had the ninja. The ninja jumped in, you know, then the ninja unmasked themselves out of nowhere. We were like, oh my gosh, it's Drewski. It's Drewski Erica. Oh my gosh. Then all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, this guy jumps in. Hey, what's going on? How dare y'all talk about me? How dare y'all talk about me and someone dying when I'm the one watching them? I don't find that funny. I don't find that to be cool. How dare all you guys do this? I brought you guys mints. I'm the man who brought you Philadelphia mints. I'm the daddy of the Mint Daddy crew. How dare y'all do this to me? Very upset. Very upset. Bryan Harpool steps in. And then all of a sudden, we all have a new hero. Oh my gosh.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mikey McCoy. I had the unique honor, blessing, and privilege of a lifetime to not only call Charlie a precious friend, mentor, but to travel with him literally everywhere.
Woo! The crowd goes wild. It's Mikey McCoy. There he is. His hips. People are reaching out for his hips. They're passing out like Michael Jackson's on stage. Oh, his hips. Crazy. Mikey McCoy, the hero. Turning Point turning on each other. Is that the turning point? Charlie passes away and then Turning Point starts turning on each other. That's very interesting. Wild that this happened. You know, somebody said, do we owe Mikey an apology? I don't know. We've always talked about Mikey we all know. I say it all the time because I like to remind people Okay, the grace that's been given to you by Mikey McCoy. He walked away for all of our sins. I say that all the time. Okay, I do not apologize for saying that. He walked away for all our sins. He plugged his ears as to not hear our sins as he was on the phone with someone, allegedly, as soon as Charlie was hit. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps. He walked away, ears plugged. He wanted to see no evil. He wanted to hear no evil. And he just walked. Okay? And that was the moment we were all forgiven. So you guys know how I feel about Mikey. Anyway. The majestic. I mean, he's always been called the majestic, the magnificent. The hips don't lie. I knew hips like that just couldn't be as dishonest as Blake. I knew it the whole time. You guys know how I feel about that. I wish I could find the video of Mikey and his hips, but I can't find it. You know, if I can, I will. But you guys know which video I'm talking about, where he's shaking those hips. Look, I'm just going to put Mikey McCoy hip shaking. If the video comes up from that, that's a damning search that's on a person. It doesn't. Oh, it does come up. Wow. Wow. Ali Top Files, thank you so much for putting this on YouTube. Whoa. We can't play the song now. Easy. Can we mute it somehow? We can't play that song. Oh, man. I was so close. I was about to play it. No, there's no way to mute it. Oh, guys, we almost had it. We almost got to see it. You know, we came very close, but I can't play that song. You know, he has sugar in his hips. He does. He has sugar in his hips. Everyone knows that. This video that I'm talking about, this is before Fleet. Oh, is that a mute button? Let me mute it. Oh, beautiful. This is what inspired Fleet. Okay, when I found this video, this is what inspired Fleet to show Mikey in the light that he was shown in that one video. I mean, look at him go. I mean, you couldn't even tell me what color shirt is the girl wearing. You don't even know. You can't even see her. You're like, what girl? Colin, what girl are you talking about? Because you can only see the hips. Oh my gosh. Mikey Sugar Hips McCoy. That's the name. Listen. It's a pretty solid nickname. If you're gonna have a nickname, you know what I mean? It has to be true to you, has to be catchy. I like Sugar Hips. Whoever said that, I'm all for it. I mean, look at him go. This doesn't help the claims that Grindr crashes every time Turning Point gets together, you know? Anyway. Everybody says that Grindr just glitches every time there's a Turning Point event. I don't know if that's true. I don't have the app. Anybody that tells you that, I mean, you got to ask, what do you have the app? What do you surfing and it doesn't work? I don't know. I don't have the app. But I mean, who's with them? It's like the girl what's with him's like John Cena. I don't even see her. You couldn't even tell me the color of his shirt because you're looking at those pants where those hips are located. I mean, come on. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh. And then somebody's just like, I know Baron has been waiting his whole life, his true calling for this moment, for this day. Oh, Baron went off. We're going to talk about that a little bit too. Obviously, we're going to go through what Candace Owens was talking about, run through the claims a little bit. Obviously, we're going to run through Baron Coleman a little bit. Blue Lioness, thank you for these timestamps. Appreciate you. Can't run through them all, but thank you for being so thorough. And yeah, let's just someone said I have to rewatch it. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with this whole thing. Baron, right off the top, Baron thinks this is going to get thrown out, I believe. He says this is going to get dismissed. It could. It could. The real question is, why are they doing it? You know, somebody wrote like, oh, Ben Shapiro's lawyers. It's not just that it's Ben Shapiro's lawyers. It's not just that. It goes deeper than that, which I will show you when we're done with all this stuff. Now, let's just jump right in here. Someone else said Bryan Harpool has just destroyed what's left of Turning Point USA, filing a lawsuit against Candace. He already lost. Can't prove malice. Turning Point has tried to sterilize evidence against them, but there will always be a slip up, and Candace Owens is going to shine a spotlight on it. Go. I mean, how crazy was it when Candace said, how many of you laughed when Candace was like, Andrew, she just said this like a few episodes ago. She's like, Andrew, I sentence you to more truth. I was like, what? Sentence people to truth? What are you talking about? She's like, I sentence you all to more truth. What's happening in the Turning Point offices right now? What is going on? What's happening? Andrew gets thrown under the bus by Erica, right? No problem. She just tosses him under the bus. Then all of a sudden, Mikey McCoy, he finds out Mikey McCoy's throwing him under the bus. He's just like, what's going on here? I thought we were together on this, guys. What's happening? You know, we'll see. We'll see. It's starting to crumble. What did Baron say? How did Baron know? Before we even get, we're not going to get in the Baron clips for a little while now. Just crushed my finger. Painful. We're not going to get into his clips for a while. How did he know to be saying that, to give that direct message? Just what? Wasn't yesterday, it was the day before? How did he know to give that direct message? And the next thing you know, it's like Mikey in all of his self-mastery, all of his grand abilities, had this premonition that Baron was going to say this, and he made sure to be the first one to get to someone. I don't know. Baron, that was a great call by Baron. And that is what's happening. It seems like, and again, nobody has any proof that these guys have done anything at all, but it seems like the weak links are crumbling. They are crumbling. You know, for Andrew to be like, I have to show you this group text, Joe Kent, you should look into this. And then while that's happening, okay, because this is all the way back when Erica and Candace met up. While that's happening, Mikey McCoy saying, hey, Candace, you need to look into Andrew Colvett. Oh, man. What else is happening? You know, at the end, you know what's going to happen at the end of this? Erica's just going to get them all arrested. Erica's just going to be like, look what they all did to my husband. I don't know. Look at I have all the paperwork. I knew everything. I didn't do anything. I dress weird. I talk weird. My eyes are crazy. I didn't do anything, though. It's all them. They all just hands behind the back. You know what I mean? You never know. People are cracking. How many more people have cracked? How does Candace do it? Baron couldn't even contain himself to just say, I told you so, when he was talking about that message. How did Candace sit on this for that long? How'd she sit on this for that long? I couldn't sit on that for that long. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Someone said something about Officer Tatum. I can't wait to see what Officer Tatum has to say about this. I guarantee you he's not going to be talking about this. He's going to be talking about some culture war stuff. He's going to be like, that man came up in a dress. I don't like seeing a man in a dress. This is America. And I said, Mama, that man walking by in a dress. Look at the video, Mama. Oh, Lord, baby, let him live. No, Mama, I can't. This America. He's going to be on some culture war stuff. He's going to forget all about Turning Point for a little while. You see. You wait and see. He's not going to be commenting on this at all. Not even a little bit. Anyway, let's get into this whole thing. Officer Tatum, friend of the show. We're family. Turning Point has decided to level up their attacks against me. For those of you that are not on X, who have not seen this. So we decided to level up by sharing more truth. Am I lying, Erica? Justin Strife? Did I not offer you this information in December and guard it from the public? And there's more. How is there more? I mean, so good at just holding on to information and being like, okay, All right, here you go. You get a little tidbit. You get a little tidbit. This is masterful. I've said it before. I'm a podcast nerd. She is masterful with the way she does podcasts. Masterful. You've never seen anything like this before. It's incredible. Incredible. I mean, you've never seen anything like what Baron is doing. You've never seen anything like what Candace is doing. You've seen what I'm doing. I'm funnier than, what is it called? What is that show even called anymore? What is it called? The Daily something or other? Daily News? The Daily Show? Is that what it's called? Jon Stewart? I'm funnier than those guys, but you've seen it done before. But what these guys are doing is just unprecedented. It's crazy. More fallout coming. So, it's an interesting claim that Bryan Harpool is losing clients and contracts because of me, and not like, how his last job ended. We're going to get into the clips right now. That is very funny. I mean, it is clearly the reason that he's losing clients and contracts is first off, let's just be clear. It's because of the picture that I just showed you. This is why. This is the real reason why he's losing any contracts. He went on the Sean Ryan show. He should not have done this. This was a terrible, terrible decision. This was 2 hours and 48 minutes and 13 seconds of a terrible decision. He should have stayed away from this completely. He should not have went down this road. That was a big mistake because this gave everybody what they needed. At first, when we were all doing the investigation, we were all watching the footage very close. He was not being mentioned on YouTube. I might have been one of the first to mention his name on YouTube, and it was just in passing because I was just mentioning all the security members. I was just mentioning all of their names. But when he went on YouTube and did this, everybody started talking about him. Everybody started zooming in on him in the footage. Everybody started focusing on him way more. And then the fact that he took no responsibility in this episode made it so, I mean, Valhalla broke it down like crazy when he was talking about this guy. He was like, this guy, he's like, he even did, I remember he did a video of me covering this podcast between Bryan and Sean. And I was breaking down the security, and I'm like, it seems like you should just have a person there. Maybe you should ask them, hey, maybe in that text message, you go, hey, can I have someone on the roof, please? I want a guy to come with you. Do you mind? You got one guy. Do you mind having 3 guys on the roof? And Valhalla was like, Colin's not a Green Beret, and Colin figured it out. And it's like, yeah. And that's how everybody felt. Everybody was able to figure this out. But it wasn't until he did this and then went on Gary's podcast and did another 2-hour podcast about the whole thing. That's when everybody started focusing on him. And I bet you that's when he started losing opportunities. Nobody wants to look at the head of a security company like his and say, well, what I've heard from this guy, not once in the whole podcast, is someone passed away on my watch and it's my fault. But the accusations that are coming to me are unfair, and here's why. That's something that he could have said. And I assure you, I've watched this podcast twice. He does not say anything like that throughout this whole podcast. That's probably the reason why he started losing opportunities, as well as the guy that's dead and millions of people have cried over. I think his name's Charlie. Was his name Am I getting that right, guys? I think his name was Charlie. Pretty sure. Anyway, let's get into it. Candace Owens, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first claim that she's discussing in the case.
Statements made by Turning Point USA on that day. Now, there may be a valid excuse for those discrepancies in messaging. However, you cannot punish the public for noticing them. Okay, I'm referring to the drones. So this claim reads, in your podcast episode entitled "The Great Exodus from Utah," you again falsely claimed that Mr. Harpool failed to render aid to Kirk after he was shot, but this time you incorrectly claimed that Harpool failed to render effective aid to Kirk with his supposed to be medical bag. Okay. Later in the episode, you falsely accused Mr. Harpool of lying about drone availability. asking, is that how these assassinations happen? Together, these statements defame Mr. Harpool by accusing him of being a direct cause of Kirk's assassination. Mr. Harpool did not play a role in Kirk's assassination and did everything he could to render aid and assist Kirk after he was shot. Okay, so to address that obscure medical bag claim, the full quotation from my episode is just a mere description of Bryan Harpool and his medical bag. I said exactly, quote, Bryan is the one who then runs over to Charlie. And again, you recognize him because he kind of has that small, supposed to be medical bag over him. I'm completely confused as to how that description is in any way defamatory. I just wanted to alert viewers to the fact that he was not just wearing a man purse and it was supposed to be a medical bag. That's it. Now, regarding the drones, Bryan Harpool.
Now, just in regards to that, this is something that all of us, and again, if you've been following the channel for 7 months, you probably saw the videos. I did many videos. All of us did many videos about the security team and what they were doing and what they were not doing and what we thought should be happening. All of us did. The medical bag was one of them because we ended up stumbling onto the fact, I know I did, I made a video about it, that there were two guys because they said there was no EMTs. And then we figured out that there was two guys. One of them's name was Connor. And they had these big trauma bags and they ran up to the car. And one of them took off his trauma bag, like he was ready to work or he was ready to offer it over. Dan Flood was the closest person to him. They closed the door. They ignored it. That's what happened there. That's a legit thing that happened. They were ignored. Maybe you could be charitable and say they were in such a rush that they just didn't care. And they were just like, we just got to get him to the hospital. We don't care about trauma bags or anything. Connor is actually someone who was trained to deal with the exact type of wound that Charlie had. So, little bit of a faux pas there. Okay. Someone said, please pin the coffee site. Of course, I'll pin the coffee site. But, we all brought this up. This is not like a crazy thing that, crazy Candace is talking about. It's just crazy Candace going off again. Everybody was talking about this because when you look and you analyze what's going on, how do you ration that they are going to be able to deal with what's going on in that car, by which I mean Charlie, when they only have these little bags? And it seemed like Bryan was the only one that had one. I don't recall seeing one on Rick. I definitely know that Dan Flood didn't have one. Frank Turk didn't have one. The driver did not have one. None of the guys. Bryan was the only one, and it was like this big. And it was probably half filled with mints. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I mean, you fill it up with mints. What are we doing here, guys? I do have to say, I can't say that I dislike Bryan Harpool. I mean, he gave us mints, guys. He gave us mints. I mean, where would we be as a community right now without the mints? The mints brought us together. It was a cohesive that brought us all together. What are we talking about here? I don't want to see anything happen to this man, but he didn't do a great job. Hope I don't get sued for saying that. It just seemed like he didn't do a great job. Could be wrong, but it seems like from regular people who just sit in a chair all day to people who were Green Berets, everybody was like, to EMTs, everybody was like, this was not good. The only person who didn't say that was Sean Ryan, where he's like, you had to get him off the X, right? Yeah. Just for everyone that knows, you got to get a guy off the X, okay? And he did it in record time. That was really fast. That was the only person. Anyway, let's keep going here. We got another Candace clip. Did I share it? Is this the right one? It is. Let's go.
Statement flew in direct contradiction to the statement that was given by Frank Turek. Okay. That's confusing for the public. Take a listen.
I spent thousands of dollars on drones last year and got the guy's license. But if the area lies in the Provo, Utah airspace, I can't fly it. That's a 107B. We can't break the rules. Right? And then you had secondary restrictions, probably due to heavy foot traffic for the school, but I can't go in and break the rules.
Anyway, on our way in, we had drone footage.
I really like the way they pieced that together. That was real smooth. I can't break the rules. You understand? Okay. If we're in a place that only takes spearmint, we can't bring in peppermint. I can't break the rules. Frank Turk's like, well, we had some drones in the air. We had a bunch, Megan. There's just a bunch of drones. We had a bunch. We were looking at the place and flying drones around and doing loop-de-loos. We did loop-de-loos, Megan. We were doing loop-de-loos. Charlie loved a good loop-de-loo, so we were doing them. And yeah, so we had drones and they were in the air, high in the air, in the place, you know, UVU. Just amazing.
Of the crowd building. And Charlie had it on his phone. I said, Charlie, I don't like this place. There are too many buildings. Charlie just kind of brushed it off because, look, we have a security team and he wasn't going to cancel an event.
So we're driving in, Megan, and his team has drones up looking at the crowd from above, and they text him some video. And there's thousands of people there an hour before the start. And I said, Charlie, I don't like this place. There's too many buildings.
Now, again, there very much could be a clear reason as to why these statements are conflicting, but you can't be mad at the public for noticing that the statements are conflicting. Also, did anybody actually fact check Bryan Harpool's earlier point? Because I did. He says, well, I can't break the rules. You can't fly drones in Provo airspace. Well, I actually spoke to someone regarding that who has good knowledge of the rules regarding Provo airspace. And he said, yeah, you can't fly in Provo airspace, meaning around airports. You would have to get clearance. You can't fly near hangars, but you can fly drones in Provo. So his whole excuse of why he didn't even bring drones, we should probably take a second glance at. Again, this is according to a pilot who I know who's in charge of drone training. So a lot doesn't seem to be adding up there. You can clarify that, but you can't pretend that someone tried to defame you unless you're going to go after Frank Turek. Anyway,
Can you imagine he just does? He just goes, oh, you know what? I never liked Frank anyway. Okay. I went over to UVU. I brought Frank to UVU. He said, I don't like this place. It has too many buildings. I was like, well, listen, Frank, you ain't security, okay? Why you stuff a mint in your mouth? Shut up, huh? Frank Turek. Kind of name is that anyway? Well, you got safety glasses on all the time for, huh? Go behind the tent. Just sues Frank. Candace said I had to sue you. I'm sorry. This is not my fault. This is not my fault. Okay. I didn't do anything wrong. All right. Yes, your friend's gone, but that's not my fault. Okay. I'll see you in court, buddy. Talking about drones. Ben Shapiro's lawyers. You told my client that he shouldn't, that you had drones in the air when he said he didn't have any drones in the air. You can't do that. Get back to work, Frank Turk. Get back to work. That's what it'll say. It's legal jargon for those of you that didn't understand. But safety glass. Why does he always like he's Larry Bird in the early 90s? Like, you good, bro? You see Patrick Ewing in front of you or anything? You're okay. Mutombo's not gonna swat down a shot or anyway. You got safety glasses on. Oh, you Dennis Rodman? You okay, man? Anyway, those are all the sports references I know. But when it comes to this whole drone thing, this was covered. You know, the drone thing was like the first Egyptian planes thing. Like, a lot of people looked into that because they were able to find drone shots. You can go on TikTok and you will find these drone shots that Frank is actually talking about. There are people flying drones and you can see the whole crowd and everything. There's a bunch of people that have done great breakdowns on TikTok about this whole thing. A lot of people on X are doing breakdowns about this whole thing. Now, what was said, what was the excuse between what Frank has said and what Bryan said? There's actually a clarification to that for the most part, is that for some reason, this is what was said, that they were allowed to fly drones before the event started, which is why Frank was able to see the whole venue with Charlie. But for some reason, they weren't allowed to fly them during the event. Very weird. And then that kind of got debunked because there was people that found drone footage. It wasn't Turning Point's drone footage, but it was just drone footage in general, where people were showing footage during the event. So the whole thing is very weird. So Bryan's saying, I can't do it. I can't break the rules. Then all of a sudden they're saying you can have the drones, but before the event. And then you see regular people flying drones during the event. It's very, very odd. So none of it just doesn't add up. And that was one of the many things that made people say, we're going to look deeper into the security. We're going to look deeper into Frank Turek. We're going to look deeper into this whole thing. That was one of the things that made people go, oh, this is actually not adding up at all. So just for a little clarification there, that's like information from like, I don't know, 6 months ago, 5 months ago. No, it's been like 8 months now. So yeah, maybe like 6 months ago. Anyway, let's keep going here with the next claim that Candace has here. That coffee thing is pinned. He's a public figure. That is the next clip that we have here. Check this out.
In my view, for Bryan to assert that he's not a public figure here, that would be hard, because Bryan did actually go and pursue not just any podcast, okay? One of the top podcasts in the world, the Sean Ryan podcast, and he opened himself up. What is the law in the books when you do that? The rule is that private citizens can indeed become limited purpose public figures when they voluntarily thrust themselves into the forefront of a particular public controversy to influence its outcome. In such cases, they are considered public figures only for the context of that specific issue and for a limited time. That's exactly what Bryan Harpool did. Okay, he went and he's going to argue, well, I did it defensively. You went on a public platform and you gave information about what the security did, all these questions that were being asked. And you're going to claim, which he does, this is wild, that the reason he went on Sean Ryan, this is crazy to me. He is saying that the reason he went on Sean Ryan was because of me. That is beyond. Okay, let's look at this point 28. On November 17th, after Owens and other conspiracy theorists had already implicated Harpool and his team in the assassination, Harpool appeared on the Sean Ryan show solely to respond to and to rebut the defamatory statements. I'm sorry, what? That's going to be a tricky one to prove in court, considered I never once mentioned Bryan Harpool on my show until after he went on Sean Ryan. Literally, not once did I mention Bryan Harpool's name on my podcast. I mentioned his name 2 days after he went on Sean Ryan, and it was in direct response to his disastrous appearance on Sean Ryan. His appearance was on November 17th. The first time I mentioned him on this show was on November 19th. In other words, you elected yourself as a spokesperson for the security team, thereby making yourself a public figure, and I responded to it, okay? Here's where it gets even crazier, though. Him pretending that I was a part of the early conspiracies against him. I did not believe the early conspiracies against Bryan Harpool. Okay, not only that, I went through great lengths to defend both Bryan Harpool and Dan Flood without mentioning their names, because I didn't want the public to find them when all the early conspiracies started flying. Specifically, the conspiracies were about hand signals, you remember?
So she's right about that. I mentioned, not to put myself in any letters or anything like that, but I definitely mentioned Bryan far before Candace did. And there are, I would say dozens, maybe a dozen people who were looking into things who were mentioning Bryan Harpool. The reason being is because at first, with the investigation of the footage, everyone thought that a company called Schaefer, I think it's Schaefer Security, they thought that was the security team responsible for what happened that day. And then people started realizing it was actually Integrity Security Solutions, which is ran by Bryan Harpool. And apparently there was actually a bidding war, allegedly. This is what's said. There was a bidding war between the two companies of who would get the Turning Point contract. And Bryan Harpool's company just kind of made their bid like real low, and they beat out Schaefer. And Schaefer had to actually issue a statement and say, hey, we're not responsible for this. We were not a part of this at all. We did not get this contract. So it was like a big thing. And then by that time, once that started happening, everybody knew who Dan Flood was on X. Everybody knew who Bryan Harpool was. Everybody was looking at the hand signals. Everybody knew that there was 12 security guys and that they usually have 8. Like, all this was very known before he went on Sean Ryan's podcast. And then everybody was pointing out the inconsistencies. The guy who, when Charlie gets hit, there's a guy who jumps over a table. He seems like he passes something. Then he leaves right away. Another guy walks up. He passes something as well. Brian, Dan, and Rick are all down by Charlie. They're all doing something. When they get up, there's no blood on their hands. Everybody was just analyzing that very heavily. And then he went on Sean Ryan's podcast, and all the inconsistencies that came up were crazy. Everybody was just like, whoa. And that's when it became undeniable for Candace to just she couldn't ignore it anymore. She had to talk about Bryan Harpool at that point. Yeah, with the sync, I don't know. Somebody, if Baron's watching, help me, Baron. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. You know, Baron has figured it out, because I remember back in the day when he would always have these issues and he would tweak it and do something. I don't know. You gotta tell Baron to help me. If he's watching, sir, shoot me a message. It would help us greatly, but we'll see. Anyway. So yeah, that's what really happened. So there's no way that this happened. Any type of notoriety, quote unquote, that Harpool was receiving was because of a whole bunch of people on X, TikTok, way before Candace Owens picked it up, way before. And honestly, let's be clear. Let's be clear right now. When it comes to Candace and the episodes that she did, I don't know, maybe 2 million views. When it comes to whatever, listen, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. When it comes to all the stuff that all of us were doing on X and collectively, how many views? There's tens of millions. Everybody was like, whoa, what is this? Who is this guy? Especially because there was a little bit of a theory. I didn't actually believe this. I think it was a different person. But there was a theory that Dan Flood and Bryan Harpool were security for BB. And people were trying to match up these characters that were like security for BB and Harpool. And like they were doing all this, trying to match up faces and whatnot. So there was a whole bunch that was going on before Candace even touched on it, right? Because Candace tends to take her time. A lot of people don't think so. They think she's just crazy, but she tends to take her time. If you're on X, then you know exactly what I mean. We jump right in on X. On X, we just get into it, you know? Let's keep going here. The next one is... Oh, I think I should just talk about this. I don't really need to play it. But the fact that she reached out to him multiple times, I think it was in a total of 4 times, and he didn't answer at all. It's very interesting. You know why? Because that means that, I don't know, either he was nervous or he had this plan the whole time. I lean towards he had this plan the whole time. I'm hoping that I can find the clip just on the fly like this. Okay, I'm hoping I can find it on the fly, because I remember a certain person. Let's just write Tim Pool, Candace SUED. Let's see what pops up here. Let's see if I can find Tim Pool talking about this. I'll tell you guys what I'm talking about. But months ago, when Tim Pool was flipping out, is this it?
And I'm not the only one who knows this. So we'll see. I'm actually working on getting some of these people to come on the show, and working on it. The challenge is, however, that many of these people are, I probably shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it anyway. They are filing legal action against her. And so their lawyers are basically saying, if you're going to file legal action, you can't do the press stuff. But
I think that's why she's walking back after the Erica Kirk thing, or what?
Yeah. I mean, I think you were saying this.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I truly believe that the meeting
can't show his eyes. Graham Allen, ladies and gentlemen. Graham Allen, ladies and gentlemen. 5'3", Graham Allen can't show his eyes. That's what a truthful person does. I've always said that about myself when I'm telling the truth. And you guys will know I'm telling the truth when I do a podcast, because I will talk to you like this, and I will make sure to talk to you like this, and I'll look right into the camera. Okay. So you guys understand that I'm being truthful. Okay. Or when I'm saying something that's really truthful, I'll be like this. I'll do this whole thing here when I'm being super truthful with you guys, just so you guys know, right? This is the real indication that I am a trustworthy person. I'm just putting it out there so everybody understands, you know, so you can read me properly. Anyway, Let's keep going.
And she admitted it. She, whether she did it on purpose or it slipped out in her show, she says, Erica's lawyers did not fully convince me of something. That means that Erica was there with her lawyers and Candace was there with her lawyers.
I'd have been recording it all.
That means
to make sure she didn't put out anything. I'd have been secretly been wired.
It was not two girls trying to sit down. No, it was arbitration. I said from her statement Candace made last night, I said that does not sound like something Candace Owens writes. That sounds like her and her attorneys crafted something to say to like push it out. And again, I think what you're going to see is, you know, she's already walked back, as Tim put out, like I jumped there. I shouldn't.
So somebody was asking when this was. This was posted December 17th. The show actually took place, I believe, December 16th, maybe December 15th. But, you know, people on X are usually pretty quick with the clips. So I would say probably 24 hours before that. So December 16th is when this whole thing went down. And this is Tim Pool. And he actually names Bryan Harpool, or sorry, I should say he names the security team. He doesn't actually say Bryan Harpool, but he says, actually, I think he does. And he says that they're going to sue Candace. Now, this is a while ago. So the whole time, it seems, as Candace is reaching out, he's just like, I'm just going to sue her. It's very odd. Candace talks about this at the beginning of this episode, but that is very odd behavior, right? Can Tim have Baron on the show? Maybe, if he can handle it. I don't know. I don't know. Baron gets into dad mode. I don't know if Tim's ready for all that. I really don't know. I think what they're going to do with Baron, and I've said this many times. I've said this about myself too. They'll ignore you for as long as they can. For as long as they can, they will just like ignore you, especially the bigger names. They will just ignore you for as long as they can, you know? Like it got to a certain point where, you know, Balix Tones, he couldn't ignore me anymore. So we actually had a back and forth on X. We're actually going at each other. They're going to ignore him for as long as they can. Right? Blake couldn't do it anymore. Soon we'll see bigger names that just can't ignore him. But I think Tim's going to ignore him for as long as he can. Because once you get trumped by that person, like Tim will, if he goes toe-to-toe with Baron, it looks bad. It looks bad, you know? So maybe Tim would have him on. Kudos to him if he does in the next month or so. That would be what, next 2 months, 3 months. That would be wild. But I think he's going to try and ignore him for a good long time. Someone's like, Graham's only 5'3". That's what I heard. It's a rumor. It's a rumor that I heard like 5 minutes ago before this clip started. I don't know. You know, I actually heard it from the same person that said Gary was a Kandahar giant descendant. You know, and that's just circulating around. I have no idea. I mean, you know, who would say these things? But but yeah. So that whole time from December, I guess early December, all the way to now, Candace is reaching out. Total of 4 times. It's not like every month she's reaching out or anything. But, you know, while she's trying to cover this whole thing, she's reaching out. And Bryan's just saying no. And then also saying, I'm going to sue you. And then also saying, and let's do it in April. Very weird, especially with the breakdown that Candace gives of the claims. This could have been done months ago, but for some reason they waited until now. I'm not really sure. And on top of that, it goes along with Andrew and Blake saying, up yours. You guys, your brains are cooked if you don't believe us. If you're not going with the official narrative, your brains are cooked and up yours. Don't know what up Andrew's trying to up ours, but you know, can only guess with zesty period Blake, you know. So it lines up with that. It lines up with Erica making her little speech. And then you get hit with the Bryan Harpool thing. Weird. The timing of it. It's interesting. They know how to time things out, but it's never good. It's never like a good timing. It's just timing. They time things out, but it's usually anticlimactic. But anyway, so this is the next part here where Bryan Harpool talks about the text messages. And I have to say, I was one of the people that thought this was his text message because he pulls out his phone and reads it.
Before this correspondence went to Chief Long. Hello, Chief Long. We received this message today from the student group. There is a student roof access pretty close to where CK will be set up at the Utah Valley. The Sorensen Center has a couple of staircases that go up to walkways on the roofs. He comes back, and for edification, the Sorensen Center was the building in front of the Lucy Center. And so he comes back and he says, you want access to the roof? And came back and said, I was told students have access above us. If this is true, it would be nice to either have it controlled access or allow one of my guys to be there as well, if possible. He comes back and his last correspondence was, I got you covered. What else am I to do? When a command level person from an accredited police department says, I've got this area.
What else am I to do? He is heavily implying that I did what I had to do. I texted him. He said he had it covered. What else am I to do? And then we revealed on the show that those aren't even his messages. Those are Dan Flood's messages. And he admits that finally in this lawsuit, that those are Dan Flood's messages. That was not an honest presentation to say, what else am I supposed to do if you are not even on that text chain? So yeah, I view that to be a lie by severe omission. I think the average person, a jury pool, will say, yeah, no, that sounds like you were involved in this text chain and your excuse for why you did not secure the rooftops was because of this text chain. You never said, Dan got these messages. Here's what Dan said back. And what is so shocking about this is that throughout this lawsuit, he explicitly lies, that the lawyer explicitly lies in this filing by claiming that I asserted over and over again that Mitch Snow was telling the truth about Harpool, when in fact, no, I went through a great many pains to repeatedly assert publicly that I could not confirm that he saw Harpool. Okay.
So just to touch on the whole text message thing again, when I saw him reading it, I was like, oh, these are his text messages. Like that's what I thought at first. Then later on, Candace covered the whole thing. I think at some point, I couldn't tell you what episode, but she revealed these were from Dan Flood. But even still, the focus of the text messages that I had and many other people had when we were doing the breakdowns was, why didn't you send another text? People didn't get, honestly, most people throughout the audiences and public, they didn't care whose message it was really. The question was, why not send another message? You know, I got you covered. I said this in the video. I got you covered. What do you mean? What do you mean you got me covered? You got me covered like 2 guys? You got me covered like 3 guys? You got me covered at the Losi Center? You got me covered above Charlie? What do you mean you got me covered? You got me covered like you're going to let my guys go up there? How do you got me covered? Just want to know really quick. Just for clarification, we have 12 guys. We just need to know. Perhaps we need to bring in another 3. We just need to know what you mean by you got us covered. That's it. That's it. Would have clarified everything. And then I guess whoever the campus police chief or whoever that was would have said, oh, I meant I got you covered by no one will be on the roof. And then you'd go, oh, well, so sorry. I was actually asking if someone could be on the roof. Oh, you want a guy on the roof. I thought you were saying you'd like no guys on the roof. And I would say, no. It's Charlie Kirk. And there's a bunch of buildings. We just want to make sure nothing happens to him. So we just like people on the roof. And the guy would be like, oh my gosh, I completely spaced on that. Okay. I guess I'll get people on the roof. And then you fix it. Then you fix the problem. You would think. I don't know. Again, I've said it before when I cover Bryan Harpool. I'm not security. I've done security before, but never at the level that Bryan is, right? He's high level security guy. they all have tattoos, you know. I mean, if you watch the episode, Sean Ryan, they all got a tattoo on their forearm, and that like solidifies it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that would have been an easy thing to do. And that was the main critique of those text messages. Not where they came from, not like the main critique was just like, why didn't you just say more? Just discuss. Or how about this? Hey, Dan, the guy said, he said covered? Yeah, he said covered. Okay, cool. Can you go verify? What do you mean? Can you just go to the roof, go check it out, or just look? Do you see anyone on the roof? Just look over there. We got all that. Is anybody there? No? Okay, Dan, stop effing me, Dan. Go make sure it happens. Be a jerk. This is work. Be a jerk. It's work, and there's a guy's life in the balance. Be annoying. Be very, very annoying. I would think. That's just me. I'd be very, very annoying. I'd be like, can I meet the guy that's going to be on the roof? Just want to shake his hand. Huh? What's your name? It's a loose handshake. It's a loose handshake. Can we get a different guy on the roof? Nah, you had a loose handshake. I don't want... Listen, you know what I mean. This guy had a fish-like handshake. Get another guy. I want a guy with a strong grip on the roof. You understand? Oh, I'd be real annoying. They'd be like, oh my gosh, I hate this guy. This Colin guy. What's this guy's problem? You know? Or just let my guys be on the roof. I'd be really, really annoying. Super annoying. I'd be like, hey guys, like, I'd just be like, go on the roof. They'd be like, hey, we didn't say you could go on the roof. Oh my gosh, you didn't? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Go on the roof. Go on the roof. F what this guy says. Get on the roof. Get on the roof now. Go up the stairwell. Go. Hey, you guys got guys on the roof. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry about that. There's guys on the roof. My bad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't want this guy to get killed. Bye. Go stand over there. I'd be the most annoying person. They'd be like, I'm never doing this with this guy again. I'd be the worst. I'd be really, really bad. But then Charlie wouldn't die. So, you know, maybe I'd be the best. You know, my first time out, that type of thing. I'd be like, fly drones. I'd be like, I don't care. What do they say? We can't fly drones? Phew, 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 phew. Oh, so sorry. What are you going to do? You going to shoot my drone down? Phew, phew. I don't care. Anyway, let's move on to the next clip. I don't want to chastise Bryan until I get like a letter or something like that. Next one, he used his phone, which is why I thought the texts were his. That was one that we went over already. The next one is her opportunity. Let's make sure we're on the right one. So this is Candace's opportunity she feels. Very bold, very noble. Someone said, you're hired, coach. Turning Point should hire me. I would be great security. I'd just be a jerk. I so understand why some people have security and the security just like walking and somebody's like just walking by and they just go and they just stiff arm them and just throw them 4 feet. I so understand that. It's like all I'm supposed to do is keep the blood in this person's body. So I stiff arm you into a wall. I feel good about that. Don't know you. And we keep walking. Oh, I'd be the worst. I have a friend that's in security. Philadelphian dude. I have a friend that's in security and he's like that. He's like real like that. You know, he gets up on people. He moves people. He's a big guy, bigger than me, taller than me. He'll just pick people up and just, I don't care. Move. And that's it. And they just keep on going. You know, stiff arms are effective. Yep. Stiff arms are very effective, more effective than limp wrists and lack of text messages. I will take a stiff arm. I will take someone that stiff arms people over someone who doesn't send a second text message to verify things any day of the week. Anyway, let's move on to the next clip.
To force depositions. Are we ever going to have an opportunity to have the power of subpoena? He is making claims that he rendered first aid. This would give us the opportunity to then say, oh, Terrell Farnsworth actually has footage that the public has never seen from every angle. We can now take a look. We want to see this footage and subpoena this footage so that we can see what happened on the ground if you are asserting that you did provide critical aid. Will we ever have an opportunity to do this ever again? Can we look at this situation where you're saying, oh, this conspiracy, all these people are involved. You're bringing up Terrell Farnsworth, Mikey McCoy. You're bringing up these episodes where we discussed Erica. Can we now sit these people for a deposition? Can we now demand these text messages? He's saying there's no conspiracy here. Can we now say, okay, well, we'd like to discover that. We'd like to actually look at all of the evidence and be able to come up with an argument. And we're gonna need access. We're gonna need access to everybody's text messages if that's what you are asserting. If you are saying that I have defamed you and you are a part of the Turning Point USA brand, you're saying you're mentioning Erica Kirk. Is this the only plausible path that we will have before us to get Erica Kirk to sit for deposition? To answer basic questions that we've been asking for actually a very long time. If that's the claim that you are making regarding there being no conspiracy, is the power of subpoena actually going to be our only way? I'd like to hear your guys' positions on this, but I have never been doing this for fun. Charlie Kirk is dead. We have been told a lot of lies, a lot of inconsistent stories from the people that are around him. They are, I would say, especially in this last month, there seems to be sort of a ramped up effort to attack people who have been asking for the truth in a reasonable fashion over and over again, extending messages to Bryan. Hey, come on the show if you'd like to. I didn't even ask him to come on the show. I said, you could just tell me what the truth is and I'll report on that. And they don't want to do that. You don't jump and skip and then file a lawsuit. That's not normal. That is abnormal. That's not the normal trend. People genuinely want to not have the wrong information out there. So they ask you to retract the statements that you are making. Something's not right here. I get a sense that this feels like, well, we tried to answer about Fort Huachuca. It was a very serious lawsuit, but defamation's hard. That was what Kim Klacik said. Defamation's hard. So that's why I have a lawsuit failed. But as you can see, I'm telling the truth because I filed the lawsuit. I think we have to think on this. I have to talk to my husband. I do think that this really may be the only opportunity that anybody who deeply cares about this case and genuinely wants truth will have to be able to subpoena that information. The power of subpoena is, well, it's a power. It is a tool. And I've only ever been interested in getting to the truth of what happened to Charlie Kirk on September 10th. So we will pause there and then I will break some news to you guys.
Wild. You know, George is watching this. It's like, oh my God, she's going to ask me to let people sue us. Oh my God, I can't believe this. This is crazy. She said she wanted a podcast. Other people on podcasts are talking about Antarctica and all this other thing. And she is doing an investigation and there's people suing us. This is crazy. I just wanted her to do Mimi skincare and read the ad. And now she's going to ask me to let people sue us. Shout out to Mike Riley welcoming the baby boy. Shout out to Mike Riley. That is great to hear, man. I Godspeed, prayers with you, and just please God, make sure that everything is right with his baby boy. That his baby boy is just developed, strong, healthy, all the fingers and toes. That's a prayer I would put over my wife's womb every single day. All the fingers and toes. That the baby is free of complications, free of sicknesses, free of ailments, and just comes into the world healthy and happy and strong. Good for you, man. Congrats. Oh, man. But yeah, George is pissed for sure. Candace walks into the room. Honey, so the thing is, there's another lawsuit. Okay, I know. But the thing is, this would be really good because discovery. But honey, you're going to have to go through we're already going through a lawsuit, honey. It hasn't stopped yet. There's already another lawsuit, you know? this could be the only chance we have. Just Candace in your kitchen. This is the only chance we have. We have to do this. Oh my goodness. This is just, oh my gosh. All right. So you just want to get sued. That's what it is, right? Right? I asked you 6 months ago to avoid getting sued, and you told me you would avoid getting sued. And now you're saying that we have to get sued and we have to go forward with it. Is this what you're saying? Yes, because this is going to be the best. It's Bryan Harpool. He's basically a moron. All he knows about is mints. We'll win this case. The case is frivolous, so it'll be dismissed anyway, but we'll get discovery out of it. How much is this going to cost? I don't know. Who cares? Oh, who cares? Who cares? She says. Okay. All right. This is fantastic. This is just fantastic. Oh my gosh, the discussions they must have. I have to go talk to my husband. Honey, I want to go through with this lawsuit. I really want this one. I don't want to retract anything. Oh, she doesn't want to retract anything. I couldn't have guessed. I couldn't have guessed that. They wanted to retract anything. Fine. Yeah, Sabi and me are talking about doing a show. We're going to do a show ASAP as soon as she is good. I'm hoping next Friday. Well, actually, there is a humble host that I was talking to about next Friday. We'll see if we can make that work. And then I guess she would have to be after. I'm trying to just do them once a week, maybe twice a week. But it's like I have a lot of stuff to cover otherwise. So or maybe I do the interviews twice a week. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. There's a lot. I'm also doing Sam Tripoli's podcast next Wednesday. I'm going to be on the Tinfoil Hat podcast. And let me tell you something about the Tinfoil Hat podcast. No code words, no BS. I'm letting it fly. If you watch Zach Costello's show, I was on there yesterday. He was like, listen, you're on my show now. We talk about these things. I was like, okay. And we did. Sam Tripoli, it's going to be like 100 times worse. So get ready. Okay. Not for you and your kid. Don't bring your kid in the room if you see me sitting down with Sam Tripoli. Okay. He's tinfoil alumni. Okay. I have to put on my best tinfoil and we're just going to talk some mess. So just careful with that. Someone's Tripoli's racist. Yeah. Tripoli is, he's something. But I already know him. He's not actually racist. He has a whole bunch of people that are of color that love him, but he's wild. He's wild. And he's up there with the tinfoil and he's right up there with Alex, right up there with Eddie Bravo, right up there with Jimmy Dore. So I have to be on the Tinfoil Hat podcast. I mean, we just haven't done this before, right? So I have to be on there, right? This is like the equivalent of being on Art Bell's podcast. That's what it's like. Art Bell's not around anymore. Now we have Sam Tripoli talking about mountains being tree stumps. You know what I mean? Bigfoot being interdimensional. Like, we're going to have a conversation. I'm not playing around. It's going to be fun. But anyway, so that is what's going on with Candace. Guys. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think she should push it to the limit if she can. If the case is frivolous and silly as Baron thinks so, and a bunch of other people as well, as they kind of dissect it, people are downloading it, reading it, then why not push it to the point where you get discovery, and then you also, kind of win the case. It gets dismissed. That seems like the best thing to do, the best possible outcome. So we'll see. Anyway, let's you make a great Brit. Of course. My mom's from Barbados. They used to call Barbados Little England. You know that? Anyway, let's get into the very last clip of Candace. And then we're going to jump back and forth because this is the Mikey McCoy stuff. Eddie Bravo hiding out with a beard. Eddie Bravo, yeah, he's doing his thing. I have Eddie's number. I got to ask Eddie to be on the show again and just let him go wild. Hopefully he'll do it one day. We'll see.
More truth. That is always the sentencing in this court. Now, what would be appropriate? What would be the appropriate level of truth to sentence you to? I got it. Okay. Now, since what you are attempting to falsely insinuate is that I went into that conversation with Erica on December 15th already convinced of her guilt, which is patently untrue. I am now going to prove to audiences just how untrue that insinuation is, okay? With the private revelation that I made to Erica Kirk, information that I gave her that I would not have given to her had I immediately suspected her of her guilt. I would have given her no information regarding this. And it was a private revelation made about you, Andrew Colvett. I don't know if they told you this. This is a really bad way to find out, but since you tried to surprise me yesterday, bam, surprise, surprise, shouty, as they say.
Did she say shouty?
You see, Angie, what I told Erica Kirk was that part of the reason why I suspected Turning Point USA and why I thought she should be looking into other people is because someone at Turning Point USA got a message out to me. And that message was that I need to look further into Andrew Colvett. Wow. Turning Point USA people telling me to look further into Andrew Colvett. Was it Aubrey, as he tries to insinuate? No. It was Mikey McCoy. Mikey McCoy got a message out to me via a third-party person that I should look more into Andrew Colvett. Why would he do that, Andrew? Why would Mikey McCoy say that I should look more into you? When I did look into you, things got very shady. And that's when I started going, who the hell is Andrew Colvett, actually? He's obviously not a very good PR agent. Everybody can see that. He's a bit of a blubbering idiot. Who is Andrew Colvett? What are his ties? What are his family ties here? And the more I looked, I did start to see more things. So as you pretend like we're all just conspiracy theorists and nobody had any good information, as you fire a bunch of employees, like I said, you still cannot produce the information that you are claiming that Aubrey Leitch gave to me that I share on this platform. You were my number one source, Andrew, in the beginning. You just forgot the things that you told me. And that's when I started realizing things were weird. And then I got Mikey McCoy telling me to look more into you. After watching this show, I would say that I had a damn good reason to suspect Turning Point USA. That they were complicit in a cover-up of what happened.
So with that information, right, does that mean that the person who told Candace, because she mentioned this, I remember, my wife just wrote, just a diaper blowout. Oh, wow. Happy to be here with you guys right now instead of dealing with whatever that means. But does that mean that when Candace reported that Andrew Colvett lost millions when Charlie turned down that money, was that Mikey that told her that? Because Andrew wouldn't tell her that because Andrew denied it, right? So that wouldn't make any sense. Andrew denied it on his show. He was like, there was no BB bucks. There's nothing I stood to gain, right? So did Mikey give that information? And then also, when it comes to the money in general, because who told her about that money that was offered? Did Mikey McCoy tell her that as well? I wonder. I really wonder. Mikey McCoy, ladies and gentlemen, the hips do not lie. Okay. Doesn't matter how much sugar's on those hips, right? That's crazy. People are saying pray for Mikey. Baron's like, Mikey's happy. I don't want to say it, but he's like, Mikey's not gonna yeet himself or anything like that. I'm like, oh geez, we're getting to that point. Kinda. I mean, but here's the thing. Also, Erica had this information the whole time. It's really interesting to think about Turning Point. Because do they all get together and just say, hey, and out this whole thing? Or does Mikey find out that does Mikey see Candace saying this like we all do and go, oh shoot? Just the same way Andrew, when Candace was on Jimmy Dore's show and she's like, hey, I have something to tell you. You know, Andrew Colvette was the leak, right? Does Erica say anything the whole time? Like it seems like they're kind of all against each other. It's weird. It seems like people who kind of lack morals kind of turn on each other. What is that? What is that old expression? There's no, what is it? No loyalty amongst thieves or something like that. Not saying any of them are. I'm just saying. Yeah, someone said House of Cards. Yeah. So it seems like House of Cards is wobbling. House of Cards is wobbling right now. I don't know, man. Very, very interesting stuff. I wonder, did Mikey even say anything about it? I wonder. Because he stays right out of the limelight. I guess he's just been talking to Candace. Did Mikey address this at all? I would love to know. Do you think that they're going to get on a podcast together and address this? You know? And when's the last time we saw Mikey on a podcast? When's the last time you saw him on the Charlie Kirk show with Andrew and Blake? I haven't seen that in a long time. Of course, he didn't say anything to address it. You know? And then on top of that, Erica knew the whole time. I don't know, man. It seems really, really weird to look into Andrew. And now I haven't even touched on this. Why is Mikey saying that? Why is Mikey saying, hey, you might want to look into Andrew Colvette? Why is he saying that? I never even thought of this. I always, I said it like 2 episodes ago. I was like, oh, if it's between Blake and Andrew, it seems like Blake has less of a conscience than Andrew does, which is why Baron was always issuing those pleas with Andrew and never with Blake, really. He just seems like he'll do whatever he's told. No honor amongst thieves. That's what it is. There you go. Between Blake and Andrew, I always was like, oh, Andrew's the better guy. But then between Andrew and Mikey McCoy, you can't even see my hand anymore. You can't see this hand either. That's how far apart they are. Mikey's a nice young boy. He's a nice young boy whose father and grandfather have extensive knowledge in psychological operations, but that doesn't mean anything. You still got to remember that, right? It's real cool that she told us this, but it's like, remember who his dad is, Remember who his dad is. Remember who his grandfather is. Just saying, like, maybe that's part of it. Yeah. Maybe Rob McCoy's in the background, just like, okay, now son, go tell Candace this. Okay. Go tell her. Yeah. Our family is not going to go down in this whole thing. Our family's going to end up running turning points. You never know. Anyway, I found that to be pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I think everybody was pretty shocked by that. Who saw that coming? That Mikey McCoy has been the leak. And how much more did he leak? And again, why? I mean, just it's so crazy. He's saying that you should look into him in regards to what? That's the other thing. Candace just says she was told to look into him. Look into him in regards to what? In regards to something happening to Charlie? In regards to him knowing what was going to happen to Charlie? In regards to him being involved with what happened to Charlie? Like, mind-blowing. 6,000 in the chat. What's going on, everybody? Hi, no black poppy. Nunca. Hi. Anyway. So, I don't know what you guys think of that. I know some people, I saw right at the beginning of the chat, because I had to, I was starting up the whole thing. Someone's like, I don't know if Mikey McCoy's as good as he says he is. Yeah, I mean, he could just be doing exactly what Baron said and still trying just to save himself. Like, hey, look into this guy. And then Andrew's like, hey, look into this text message. Hey, like it seems like they're all trying to pass the buck, Not saying any of them did anything, but it seems like they're all trying to pass the buck. Andrew's passing it off to whoever was in that group chat, and what Charlie said in the infamous group chat, got to leave the cause. So Andrew's passing it off to the donors. Like, look what the donors may have done. I don't know. Mikey McCoy's like, hey, take a look at Andrew. I don't know. Next thing you're going to hear, Candace is going to be like, and Elizabeth McCoy came to me and said that I should look into Mikey McCoy. And she's like, I don't know. Look into this guy. I know he's my husband. I don't know. He's a little too clean. He's a little too spiffy. I don't know. He just walked away, right? I mean, he walked away as soon as Charlie got hit. I mean, check it out. Check it out, Candace. They're all just throwing each other under the bus, you know? Who would have thought that the ending of this whole saga would be all of them saying to each other, hands behind your back? Huh. I would have never thought. I would have never thought that. You know? Anyway. Mikey wasn't in the SUV. No, Mikey was gone. I talked about this on Zach Casella's show. He showed me that picture. Mikey was down the street, clearly on the phone. I don't care what anybody says. It seemed like he was on the phone. You don't plug your ears. Have you ever seen anybody plug their ears for 40 paces? That's a lot. That's a long time. You know what I mean? I don't care how much sugar is on his hips. It's not that loud. A shot goes off like this. You got your ears plugged for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 40 steps. You're on the phone. That's what's happening. Someone said he's still on the phone. Yeah, he's on the phone with Candace. That as soon as it happened, boom, he just put up his phone. Hello, Candace? Candace? Hi. So yeah, exactly what I thought. I don't know because Andrew made sure that he had to talk to Ben Shapiro yesterday, and Charlie didn't want to talk to Ben Shapiro, but Andrew made him. Yeah, I can tell you a whole bunch about Andrew. No, I'm just walking away right now. No, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yep. So the thing about it is I don't really trust that Andrew guy. Yeah, Joe, Charlie's hit right now, and I don't know. I don't really think I don't trust him all that much. Can you hear me? You can, right? Okay, so I would look into Andrew Colvette, because he was going to make millions of dollars from some deal. Charlie walked away from it. Yep. Yes, definitely. Just right away. Just right away on the phone with Candace. Oh, man. Oh, I kid. You know? And then the whole thing, see, it gets even weirder. When you bring up this Mikey McCoy part, it gets even weirder because now it's like Mikey McCoy saying that about Andrew. Andrew's telling Candace it should have been you, that you and Tucker need to lay low. What's going on? It's the weirdest thing. Then Erica's the CEO. People are dissolving their chapters. They're stepping down from their positions. They're losing support like never before. I don't know, man. Crazy. This seems like I know you could say the beginning of the end was, as soon as Charlie passed away, but this seems like the beginning of the end. No, knowing now that they're actually turning on each other secretly seems like the beginning of the end. Yeah. And I'm not saying I wanted to see it ever. I'm not saying I ever wanted to see the end of Turning Point. I liked what Turning Point's doing. A lot of older people will call me like a classic liberal, which means like what a liberal was like 20 years ago, right? But I have a lot of conservative values. I like what Turning Point is supposed to be about. I like what Charlie Kirk was doing. I would love to see them keep on doing the stuff that they were doing before. I don't want to see the end of it. But if it's become some mishmash of GOP and Philadelphia first, well then it's not benefiting the country like it was supposed to. So now it's a different thing. Anyways, guys, let's move on. We're going to get into Baron stuff. We have to get into Baron stuff. But what's the last little thing I was going to read here? Oh, somebody was talking about Harpool lies. Now, this is somebody talking about. This is not me. Bryan Harpool said he went on the Sean Ryan show because of Candace Owens defaming him. She never mentioned Harpool until after the Sean Ryan show. Yeah, exactly. So let's just move on. Even Candace even tweeted, Baron is on one tonight. Baron's been going off. He's been going off. I love to see it. Love to see it, man. Zach Costello said this. He said, Baron Coleman, after dismantling the Bryan Harpool defamation lawsuit against Candace, hilariously crashes out over Harpool seeking damages for the loss of business to his security firm. Sometimes you hire Bryan to stay alive and you don't stay alive.
Probably the most tone-deaf paragraph in legal history. Since defendants began their campaign to impugn and defame Harpool, he, on a daily basis, has been accused by thousands of people across social media platforms of murdering Charlie Kirk, a beloved and well-regarded podcaster and major influential voice amongst conservative Americans. This sentence is so tone-deaf. Since Owens began targeting Harpool, he has lost major clients and reputation, and his reputation in the security industry has plummeted. Bryan, the guy you were protecting died. It's not Candace that's caused your reputation to plummet. You're in the security industry, meaning maybe I've never been in the security industry. I'm not a licensed security professional. I'm not trying to accuse you here of professional unfitness, whatever the hell that means. But he died. He died. He was alive. He paid you money. He trusted you to keep him alive, and he did not, in fact, stay alive. He did not live. He was alive, and now he's dead. You brought a team of like 12 or 13 people there with one goal. One. Make sure the guy who's breathing is still breathing the next day. Like, that's the goal. That's what happened. If I hire a security team and I'm breathing the day I hire them, then the next day I would like to still be breathing. Like, that's sort of the goal. I don't want to take any rounds to the neck. I don't want to leave with broken vertebrae.
That's sort of the goal.
I don't want unseen people on roofs. Sir, it's like me hiring you to be a caterer, and then there's no food. Like, I'm like, Mr. Harpool, could your company bring like 50 pounds of barbecue? I'm having a family party. I'd like some briskets, some pulled pork, maybe some ribs. Go heavy on the potato salad, and can we get a little mustard added in there? Because mustard really makes the potato salad, and make sure it's not French's. We're talking good mustard. I want Coleman's mustard. I want some kind of German mustard. Get that potato salad really working in there. Could you do that for me? Yeah. Got you covered, sir. Great. Family shows up. We got balloons by the driveway to let people know which house we're in. We got music going. Jazz. We're playing jazz because we're a classy bunch.
Oh, that's
classic
nice.
Jazz. None of this new weird stuff.
Okay.
The party's going on. People are wandering around. Watching my watch. It's like noon. I'm like, where's my food? Maybe they think we eat late. Fine. 1 o'clock comes around, still no food. Maybe we turn on a little faster music to get people, the jazz ain't cutting it. We got to crank it up a notch. We're going to top 40 hits from the 80s. People are dancing, having a good time. 2 o'clock. I caught. You answer the phone. Hello? I'm like, hey, bud, barbecue. Stat, where is it?
And Bryan Harpool answers the phone. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. My chef got shot in the neck. My chef just got shot. Yeah, I don't know. No, I didn't call 911. No, me and my friends just threw him in the car. We're going to the hospital right now. I'm so sorry. He was supposed to make the barbecue. Yeah, I know. I'm really sorry about this whole thing. Listen, I'm going to send you a whole crate of mints. You understand? The mints are going to make up for it. Okay. They'll be there 2 to 3 weeks. Business days. Go ahead. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, he's right. I just can't figure out. The business is not doing that well. I can't figure out what's going on here, man. I just can't figure it out for the life of me. What's happening with the business? I think it must be Candace Owens. The last security meeting he has to get a contract. So There's a little blip. Your resume here for your team. What was going on from September up to now? Yeah, it seems like a little blip here. September up to now. What's going on? Oh man. So the thing about it is, okay, kind of wild. You know who Charlie Kirk is? Okay, so last guy I was protecting, he got killed. Okay, he got killed. You know, he's just going in and out of meetings, and they're like, "What's the last thing that happened in your company?" Well, I mean, listen, this is like trying to explain to an employer that you're like a 4-time felon, you know? And they're like, "Have you been arrested before?" And you're like, "Hold on a second. Let me just talk to you about this for a second." The thing about it is, okay, this guy died. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. See, this is the thing. A lot of people think it's our fault. We did not kill that man. Okay. We did not kill that man. Someone else did on a roof. All right. But you have to understand. Let me just show you a text. Can I just show you a text message here? Because he said, "I got you covered." You understand? So if somebody tells me they got me covered, we will, that's a whole lot. Okay. You just gave us a whole lot of information there, Bryan. No. We appreciate the honesty. We're just going to call you back. Okay. This actually went great. We will call you the second that we need you guys. Okay. Just thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that meeting went pretty well. Huh? What do you guys think? It's just like that month after month. He's looking to blame somebody. I mean, that was one of the critiques that a lot of people gave him when he was on the Sean Ryan podcast, is that he was blaming everybody except for himself and his team. And he could have easily just taken responsibility. It would have been a whole different vibe. You know, there's so many things that the people of Turning Point and adjacent, because apparently there's been a split from the Bryan Security Company and Turning Point. Kind of, I think. But he just could have took ownership, and it would have just been that much better. Like, it just would have been great if he just said, "Man, it was my first things first. It's my fault." But the people who are saying I was involved in it happening, that has to stop. That could have been, that's an easy thing to put out there. Yes, I'm security. Someone passes away on my watch. It's my fault. And I'm sad about it. He even cries in the interview. He's like, "And I'm sad about it." But the people who are saying that I conspired with my team, that's not what we're about, right? We don't call ourselves Integrity Security Solutions and then conspire to do something like that. We would never do something like that. We love Charlie. Would have been a whole different vibe. But instead it was just like blaming everybody else. And now blaming Candace. I don't know, man. You got to find a different job. He's friends with Gary. Call Gary up. Call Gary up and be like, "Hey, you got a job for me? Hey, Gary, you got a job for me, man? I just want to, can I just do some tactical training with you, bud? I just need some training. Can you help me out, man? Can you help me? Just a job, any kind of job, man." Gary's like, "All right, no, I know you're a squared away guy. You got a lot of experience. No problem." First day on the job, Gary comes in. They said someone got shot. "Listen, Gary, it's not my fault. I don't know what happened with this guy. Yes, in the neck again, but I didn't do anything, man. I told him to shoot that way. He shot the other way. Someone got shot. It ricocheted. It was crazy. It had nothing to do with me, man." I'm kidding. That didn't happen. Oh, just silly. Silly thoughts. Just silly thoughts. Anyways, let's get into it, guys. We got some more. I actually have to get out of here soon. I have to go through the coffees. I have to go through because we have a baby doctor appointment. This baby has baby acne like no one's business. And admittedly, I worry way too much all the time about everything. And I Googled it, and I have looked at Google, and now I'm terrified. So the baby has to go to the doctor ASAP. My wife would have just been like, "It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll go to the doctor on Monday." I am so scared. So I'm one of those dads. I don't know. I see it. I'm like, this is not normal. No, it's not. No, it's not normal. It probably is. But I won't feel that way until the doctor looks at me and says, this is normal. You know? What can I do? What can I do? But yeah, the baby acne is terrible. Terrible. It's too much. And it's like around the eyes. I'm like, my son's going to go blind if I don't do anything about this. I know it's temporary, but it looks so much worse than what my first kid had that it's just tripping me out, you know? Yeah, people say milk buzz and all this stuff. I don't know, man. I just got to get it looked at, man. I was up at like, 2 a.m.? 2 a.m. I was washing the baby's face, like just gently. Like, oh, man, it's too much. Let it dry out. Looks a little better today. Whew. Being a father, so fun and is so terrifying at the same time. Nobody tells you how terrifying it's going to be. We did breast milk. Trust us. We did breast milk. Don't use steroids. Yeah. No. I'll make sure the baby doesn't use steroids. Yeah. I want him working out soon, but you know, the decision's his, you know, whether he wants to do that or not. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'll admit it. She knows I worry too much, but I need the doctor to tell me. I need the doctor to say it's all good. That's all I need, you know, or the doctor to say, hey, this is not normal. Okay. And then I'll cry a little bit and then we'll get it handled, you know, but either way. Anyway, let's jump into Baron here.
To end up with the contract for TPUSA.
What? Of course, that's how I'm listening to it, guys. Who do you think I am?
There's a backstory behind that, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. So we'll guys. I'm really doing everything I can not to play my clip last night talking to Mikey McCoy. I'm just being honest. I'm doing everything I can not to play the clip last night of me staring into the camera saying, Mikey, right here, be the first one to the courthouse. You're cooked. You're cooked. And you have a chance to save yourself. You're 23, dude. You got a baby on the way. You have a chance to save yourself. You can still get out of this. I'm doing everything in my power to avoid saying that. I don't want to be the guy to say it. I don't want to be the guy to say it. But I'm telling you right now, Mikey, go get a lawyer and go. I knew it. I've been telling you something's different with Mikey than the rest of these clowns. He has a conscience. Mikey's got a conscience. I've been trying to tell you guys. I can sense it. I can see it in his public appearances. I can see it in the way he conducts himself. I can see it in the way he stays out of the limelight. And last night I said, Dan Flood and Mikey McCoy, the two of them need to get to a lawyer because the first one to the courthouse gets a good deal. Everyone else is cooked. And if I'm Andrew, how do you even go to work tomorrow if you're Andrew Colbert? Knowing that someone in an executive position at TPUSA is reaching out to Candace Owens and saying, Andrew sucks. Andrew sucks. For the record, Mikey, I agree with you.
This is amazing. Someone said, I trust doctors too much. Trust me. Just I don't know how to explain it on this platform. If you go to the Eddie Bravo interview on Eddie Bravo's channel, he plays the uncensored version, and we talk all about that industry. I'm not going to get into it, but you'll see my stance on everything there. I wish I could talk about it. You know, I wish I was more like Ian Carroll. I really do. I wish I was more like that. I wish I set this channel up to be more like that. But you can go check it out in that interview. I talk all about our stance on that whole thing. So, but Baron is 100% right. And how did Baron know? A lot of people I saw speculating on X. And I think even in this chat early in the morning, speculating that Baron knew somehow that this was all going to go on. I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew about that, but I do think that he is smart. I think he's a smart guy. And I think Mikey does have a conscience. I think he does. Hard to tell because they were all smiling so brightly when Charlie passed away. While a lot of us were crying, they were smiling and laughing. And that's what makes it all seem so suspicious, you know? That's what makes people feel like it's so suspicious, is that when we were all upset and we were all angry because we were watching all these people celebrate, they were on stage smiling with fireworks, you know? That's why so many people, the distrust happens so quickly. It's weird. Very, very weird. All right. Yeah, a lot of people think Charlie's not gone. It's a fun theory. It's a very fun theory, I think. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the next clip here.
The only reason that's mentioned there at all. Now, I will say this. There are factual errors in this section. I'm not going to point them out because I'm not representing Candace and I'm not representing the plaintiff. There are factual errors here, and these factual errors could result in this case being dismissed on its face. I will say it is in one of these two paragraphs. That's all I'm going to say. It's the only clue I'm going to give you guys.
Okay, he says there's a clue here, okay? A little Baron clue. Okay, hold on.
Conspiring to assassinate Charlie Kirk. That's plenty. It's a jurisdictional requirement. That's all.
Where is it?
And what they want to make sure is that you're not just going to the courthouse. You're not tying up precious federal judicial resources over a $50 discussion over a t-shirt someone stole from you. It has to be an amount of controversy in excess of $75,000. The only reason that's mentioned there at all. Now, I will say this. There are factual errors in this section. I'm not going to point them out because I'm not representing Candace and I'm not representing the plaintiff. There are factual errors here, and these factual errors could result in this case being dismissed on its face. I will say it is in one of these two paragraphs.
Okay. So he says one of these two paragraphs. Let me see here. I got to zoom in. For myself. I got to get real close here. This court has subject matter jurisdiction over action pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1332 because there is a complete diversity of citizenship between parties and the amount of controversy exceeds $75,000 exclusive of interest and cost. Venue is proper in this court under 28 U.S.C. 1391B1 and C2 because defendants Candace Owens, LLC, and George Tom, Inc. reside in the judicial district, and this is where the defamation occurred. Venue is also proper under 28 U.S.C. 1391B2 because a substantial part of the events or omissions giving rise to the claim occurred within the judicial district.
That's all I'm going to say. It's the only clue I'm going to give you guys.
And then he says it's also in here. Blatant. Bryan Harpool is a citizen and resident of Texas and is the founder of Integrity Security Solutions, private security firm. Around 2018, Harpool began working for Charlie Kirk, the Integrity Solutions, providing security for Turning Point USA and protective services for Kirk. In 2022 to 2025, Integrity Solutions provided the services for Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk at UVU on September 10th, where Kirk was hit. Harpool seeks damages in excess of $75,000 on his behalf and behalf of his closely held company, Integrity Solutions. So within there's something that gets this thrown out. What could that be? Could it be the fact that they're talking about things happening in Tennessee and then him being a resident of Texas? Could it be that part? Not 100% sure. What's Baron doing giving us clues? Tell us what's going on, Baron. Now I got to download a thing and I have to copy it and I have to dissect it and look into it, by which I mean put it into ChatGPT and ask it the same question that you just posed. Listen. This is a average IQ outfit over here. I average IQ outfit over here. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. The next clip here, Baron talking about this part
in a minute, because this, well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If I'm TPUSA, I am terrified at this moment. Terrified. If I'm TPUSA, if I'm Andrew Colvett, and I've carefully tried to manage a total disaster of a CEO in Erica Kirk, someone whose affect is so weird so as to look possessed by the devil herself. And your job all day long is to manage that. You've got a CEO who replaced one of the most beloved political figures in America, and she looks possessed. And every time she talks, it's a disaster. It's gotten to the point where they have to tell her, all right, go spend time with your kids. Please, God, please go spend time with your kids. Stop insisting on going out in public. It's not working, girl. Stay home. And you're finally getting it under control. Then we learned today Mikey McCoy is reaching out to Candace Owens and saying you should check in on Andrew Colvett. Can you imagine the day Andrew Colvett's having? Now can you imagine the day the rest of TPUSA is having? Because as of this paragraph right here, there's some other paragraphs that this becomes an issue too, but as of this paragraph, we get to do a little discovery. We get to do a little discovery now. Because obviously relevant to whether or not Candace defamed Bryan Harpool are now Dan Flood's conversations with Chief Long. And if we want to know what he discussed with Chief Long, we probably need to see Dan Flood's conversations with Charlie, Erica, Mikey, the rest of TPUSA. I've got a long list of things I would want if I am leading the discovery charge. And I would say this, the discovery standard in federal court is very broad. Very broad. There are two major things that deal with evidence. One, in a civil case. One is the rules of evidence, the federal rules of evidence. That determines what a jury gets to hear. And a judge is sort of the arbiter of that. And there's some judicial review in limited cases. I mean, there's some appellate review in limited cases, but by and large, the trial judge gets to determine what the jury sees. But the other is Rule 26. That's the federal discovery rule. And in Rule 26, Section B1, we get the standard, the scope. The scope is very broad. It's basically anything you want that you think might be somewhat relevant at all. You get a look at. You get subpoena power. So all these questions, because this is such a broad lawsuit, basically what he's saying is Candace is accusing me of being involved at any level, involved in discussions in the days leading up to Charlie Kirk's demise. Well, okay, let's see every discussion TPUSA had for, let's say, 30 days leading up to Charlie Kirk's death of September 9th, September 10th. I want all 30 days. I want to go back to mid-August, early August. Brian, when he was being Big Bad Brian on the Sean Ryan show, liked to go out there and he liked to say, oh, yeah, we plan early and often. That's my theory as Bryan Harpool. We like to really plan. We get ahead of time. There's all these apps. I want to see the apps. All this communication. I want to see the communication. Oh, we got schematics and drawings. We talked to the police. We'd like copies of all that, please. Ooh. You're accusing me of lying, saying you were involved? I want to see, were you involved? Because truth is a defense. And so I get to see it all. Every bit of it.
Whoa.
And it's broader than that. We'll get into that. It's much broader than that. You guys have
Wow. I love it. Whew. Don't let Candace get a hold of that. So obviously they talk. They're going to talk about this. They have to talk about this. So that's very, very interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. If it actually does go to that extent, because, we kind of give them a little hint of what could happen as Baron, they're watching Baron. They're watching Candace. They do have to think about what discovery looks like. And I feel like it looks really, really bad if you destroy discovery stuff. If they're like, there's a bunch of communications, we'd like to see them. We got rid of all of them. What? Officer, I know. Hands behind your back, sir. You know what I mean? Like it could proves Bryan is quite dumb. I don't know, man. it seemed like a planned attack. Candace brought up, like, all happened on her birthday. Like, all just took place, like, all at once. And it seems like with Bryan's case, it's been like planned for months. Tim Pool was talking about it in December. It's April now. Is it May now? It's May. I don't know. It's a long time to just sit on it like this. Yeah.
I assume we'll get the records, and I assume Candace would be interested in discussing the contents of those records to some extent. I think this is what it's about right here. I think this line right here is what this whole lawsuit's about. Let me pull it up here so you guys can see it. I didn't realize I was talking to myself here. I think this line right here is what this whole lawsuit's about. To avoid any uncertainty, Bryan Harpool has never been to Fort Huachuca, not ever. I think he wanted to say that publicly. I think he wanted to say it in a way where people thought he was serious. And my guess is, my opinion, allegedly, is he wanted that to be enough. He didn't want to put this to a jury. This whole lawsuit is written as if he's trying to get it dismissed. Either that or I question the legal strategy. I mean, it's one of those two. The whole lawsuit is written as if he's trying to get it dismissed. Like, there's so many what I see as fatal errors where they would have a tremendously difficult time surviving a motion to dismiss and an even more difficult time surviving a motion for summary judgment.
Huh. Well, that could be the point of it. That would make a lot of sense. That was a big thing, right? Candace even brought up Gary and Valhalla again on her podcast when she was talking about this whole thing. She was talking about how it's, just how they said Bryan was going to sue them. I guess Gary said this to her. I don't know. Pretty sure Valhalla maintains that he didn't say anything like that. He was just focused on Mitch and all the bad things that he's done and wanted her to know what bad things he had done. But I think Gary was another case. But again, I don't know. I don't know about their communications. Candace touched on it a little bit during that live stream months ago. Live stream that was on Instagram, I believe, or X. I think it was X Spaces. So, but why is all this happening? Well, think about this. And this seems to be actually pretty legit. Bombshell, same security firm Harpool is using against Candace employs Ben Shapiro's brother-in-law. It's not just that it's his lawyers, his brother-in-law is owned and is owned by Trump DOJ. Got a mixing of things here. The rabbit hole goes deep. If you're wondering, Bryan Harpool's lawsuit against Candace feels like a coordinated strike. The legal family tree, DOJ connections. Bryan Harpool's lead attorney, Zachary Stoner, works for, I don't know how to say that name, Dillion Law Group. The firm's leader is Harmeet Dillion, is currently serving as Trump's assistant attorney general for civil rights at the DOJ. While she is officially on leave from the firm, her influence is everywhere, especially as she advocates for stricter anti-Philadelphia speech laws that many fear will be used to silence journalists like Candace. Daily Wire connection. As Candace revealed last night, she saw the exact same law firm that represented the Daily Wire during the brutal 2-year arbitration battle against her. They know her. They fought her before. They're back for more. The brother-in-law connection. This is where it gets personal. The Dillion Law Group didn't just stop representing the Daily Wire. They also hired Jacob Roth. Who is he? He is an Orthodox Philadelphian attorney at Dillion Law, specializing in civil rights. The Shapiro tie is that he is Ben Shapiro's brother-in-law, married to Ben's sister, Abby Shapiro. Right? It looks like a classic attack by proxy. Ben Shapiro is her crazy ex-employer who feels more like a jilted lover and has been relentlessly harassing and stalking her for years. This is what is being said here. So Anyway, let's throw you out of here. Let's get you gone, buddy. Don't worry, you're okay. But yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting. These are the people here.
Combating anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Jacob Roth, and I'm an attorney with Dillon Law Group. I want to address with you something that's very troubling. Hello, my name is...
So there's that whole weird connection. So goes a little deeper than what we thought. It's not just the law firm. There's deeper connections. You know what this feels like? It feels like when the president was being gone after with lawfare, and then someone from the DOJ actually stepped down from their high position and started working in Alvin Bragg's unit, started working with Alvin Bragg as they were trying to prosecute the now president. Kind of has that feel to it, which I found very suspect at the time. So interesting. So we got to move on. We got to move to coffees. We got to move to live streams because I have to get out of here. We have an earlier appointment, so I do have to cut it short. We are going to do members today. Candace is not going to go live today, or maybe she will. I don't know. But we are definitely going to do members. That's going to happen before Baron for sure. If Baron's going live, I'm not really sure, but that is what we are doing. Let's start with the coffees, ladies and gentlemen. Going to jump right in here. Mike Riley, congratulations, sir. Big Daddy Riley in this bid. I appreciate all the prayers and love. Better believe your boy brought the Xbox. Not to play no 2K or in Madden, just watching Coach, Candace, Baron, Zach, and her mindless shows too. Yeah, of course. We downloaded some mindless shows too when we were out there. I don't even think we watched any. I just want to say how proud I am of my strong, beautiful wife to sacrifice her body to bless me with babies back to back. Irish twins. Whoa, that is wild. Coach, can you give me an Officer Tatum one time for the one time? I don't even know what to say. Mike Rod, Mama, yes, baby. There's a man on here right now telling me about Irish twins. Do you know what Irish twins are, Mama? Baby, they twins from Ireland. You ain't never heard of Ireland? No, Mama, these are babies that were born in the same year, but not on the same day, Mama. So they Irish twins. Well, why they call him Irish, baby? Is he Irish? No, Mama, it's just what they call him. Well, baby, come on in from that mountain of evidence and come on over here and just stop talking about this Mike Riley character. I just wanted to let you know, Mama, there's Irish twins coming. There you go, man. Teresa bought a coffee. Thank you. Michelle, I always said September 10th vid of Mikey. Looks like he found out that day that what was about to go down and was on the phone with someone for support, like, oh my God, it's about to happen. And then bang, it happens. He couldn't bear the screams of the crowd. Then they hyped him up, babied him because they knew he was actually traumatized, therefore the weakest link. That is a good theory. I heard somebody saying that as well. They were kind of like hyping, or Baron, I think, said that. They were hyping him up. They were saying like, hey, like, Mikey was a hero. Mikey got self-mastery. It's kind of like a hyping up, but also like letting maybe allegedly, possibly, perhaps letting him know like, hey man, you were there. You're in on this. But again, we don't actually know. And I'd love to know what Mikey thinks about Andrew. Why would you suggest that Andrew get looked into? It's so crazy to me. Did you look up King Iverson AI Trump time traveler thing yet? It was the ear pew pew hand raised incident, Erica clone theory. Did you see there will be a congressional hearing on MK Matcha? Listen, I'm trying to not make it so you have to think of alt words. Thank you. I didn't need Big Goy Polloy, which you say right. Oh, perfect. Says the N-word immortalized forever. At least several minutes later, we get the German N-word. Yeah, that the German N word for those of you that don't know. World War II bad guys. I was like Baron going, oh no. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the N word. The German N word. Correction. No, I have not seen Kim Iverson's theories or anything like that. I have to look it up. I haven't had time recently because there's been a whole bunch of other stuff dropping, but I will look into that. It's interesting that someone like her is talking about a theory like that. That sounds like something that's more up my alley. Coach, been watching you since the quarantine days. Wow, amazing. Always appreciate the laughs, and I am proud to see how far you've come in this community you've created. Congrats on joining the 40 plus club on your and on your new baby boy. Thank you so much. P.S. Tell your wife I recommend saving a few newborn diapers before donating for your daughter to use with her baby dolls. That's funny. That's actually a good idea. Never occurred to me, and we ended up buying some later for that purpose. That's actually really funny. That's smart. That's actually really smart, because she would love to do that. That's very, very smart. Come on, I just clicked it. What are you making me do that for again? Okay, cool. I just realized your show is part of my morning routine on my drive to work. Beautiful. I love that. I love it. I look forward to it every day. Note, seems like many that supported the president's victory now is estranged from him, like Kid Rock, Jason Aldean. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and many more. That's true. That's very true. Now they're actually crazies near him. What the F is that? Also, we all need to support Candace. Buy merch, send her love. Mary Ann Lita Cafe y Conchos. I've never seen that word before. Diana G, thanks, Coach, for keeping us company on the road trip to El Paso from Houston. My mom and daughter duo, love your live streams. Hope you and the growing family are doing awesome. May God keep you blessed always. Thank you so much. Christ is King indeed. Miss Chris Viz, I feel like we are all living in an absurd comedy drama. I cannot understand how Turning Point assumes we are all stupid. Thank God for courageous truth seekers. The work that Candace and Baron do consistently reveal the slop that comes from Turning Point USA and their minions. Without the content from individuals like yourself, Lionel, Christine, I think I would cry. So I appreciate the laughter. I didn't agree with everything Charlie said, and had just begun viewing his videos a few before he passed away. But all the actions from Turning Point since his passing have not honored Charlie's memory and has been so patronizing to us all. I am glad I am on the side of things. This is on the right side of things, on this side of things. This is unbelievable. May the truth prevail. Yes, indeed. D, Candace, Colin, Baron, Lionel, Jimmy, Fredo, Fleet, Candace, incoming, Mikey, oh shoot, Erica, my toilet paper USA family, voice going up, up doc, family, Mikey sachets away, Elizabeth McCoy, Mikey, we have to relocate now, Mikey, breathe hard, packing like a mother, already got our bags, honey. Well, yeah, there you go. He laid out that scene very well. Harmon Guzman, I don't want to chastise Bryan until I get a letter. Coach, I think you caught the Tatum virus. What Tatum virus? Chastise. Is that too big of a word for me? Hola, Coach and fam. You could almost presume that Charlie Kirk was taken down, allegedly, maybe perhaps due to the simple miscommunication or misunderstanding. Just saying, not saying that this is what I believe. Christ is King. Happy Friday. You can almost presume that Charlie Kirk was taken down, due to a simple miscommunication or misunderstanding. Not really. If you watch the videos that I've made, that all of us have made of the timeline, I don't think it'd be dozens of misunderstandings if that were the case. Exhibit 1 is just the Ben Shapiro Charlie Kirk interview. That's the best example. And then learning that he didn't want to do that interview while you're watching it is crazy. K Bunny. It's all tied together. Erica naming Candace being named to be censored in Gov resolution. That's very, I have to cover that. The random mentioning of her supposed to be anti-Philly in the lawsuit. Then Levitt saying that the leftist rhetoric, well, there you go. With what I just showed you in terms of the law firm and everything, there is a connection there. They mentioned her in this resolution along with Hassan Piker. And then they mention that in the Bryan Harpool lawsuit. So it's almost like they're trying to connect the two things. I mean, I don't know. They're doing her very dirty right now, I think. Saying that leftist rhetoric podcasters are the cause of violence, signaling they're going to go after free speech, of course. They did this with Rogan. They did this in 2020. They keep doing this. They did this as Biden was completely losing his mental faculties. They keep doing this. Every time they need to, push something under the rug, they do this. Didn't turn in point, just a can of whoop ants on themselves. Yeah, they did open it on themselves. Literally. It's so weird. Critter Crater. Is that what that says? Seem like they've done enough to Candace recently to earn a piece of truth per show for the next 10 shows or so. Something like a truth a day keeps the crazy Zeo Ranger away. I mean, it works for apples and doctors, right? Love catching your shows in the morning, Coach. Thank you so much. Jay Berg in the house. What's going on? If I was white and doing this, I'd be in jail. This quote took me out. That's what I said yesterday. Love the collab with Zach. Who knew he could flow? Oh yeah, Zach was rapping. If you guys don't know, he was literally rapping. I was rapping too. We were rapping Eminem lyrics, especially relatable with the non-agreeable toddlers. I'll tell my daughter to calm down, and she says no. Calm up. I embrace the gray hairs because I view that as a trait, as a sign of intelligence. Happy Friday. Stay blessed. Thank you so much. Happy Friday to you as well. And then we have someone here. Thank you very much. And then we have Kokoki. Oh man, I only have a few minutes. Remember the famous picture of Tyler Robinson in the court, that face with the slight smirk he gave to the camera. I was wondering, since all of this newer stuff came out, was that smirk for the public or for those who we do not mention, aka Hit Squad? By the way, Mortal Kombat Ultra Sparkle Pants Death Stare fatality. That would be her fatality for sure. That would be her finishing move. Hi, Coach from Australia. I never get to catch you live because you are in the middle. It's in the middle of the night. Oh yeah, because you're in Australia. True. Middle of the night here. Just realized that I can send you a message here instead of a super chat. I watch all your shows. I'm loving it. Oh, how many times I laugh out loud at your jokes and impressions. It makes my day. You are amazing. I hope you get to do your stand-up soon and one day come on an Australia tour. There will be bells on. Make sure you come to Brisbane. That's the nearest that's the nearest big town to where I live. Lots of love to you and your family. Oh, I have no idea what that name is. What is that? Sylvia? I have no idea. My first subscriber was from Australia. The very first. His name was Jaden. First subscriber I ever had. Coach Colin, the montage of memes with rapping had me rolling today. So glad you've found success. Blessings to your family. Thank you so much, Wiz. Appreciate you. Jay Berg. Okay, repeat. It's just repeating. There we go. Be careful. Read first. Oh. Oh, read first. But you got babies listening. Love your show. When someone is being annoying at you, you call them a fart. Annoying, rotten tea. Use your... I'll make sure to do that. You call them a fart and just keep that in mind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, nah, okay. Talking about coffee, I spit mine out when you started rapping. Erica Kirk land her skit because you did us remembering some great music. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm a rapper if I wanted to be. I just don't want to get dipped in baby oil, you know? You are hilarious. Praying for you and your family to grow and know the Lord more and more. Clearly, you love truth. This seems to be the best pursuit overall. Thank you very much. And then in Italy, come to Italy. I'll buy you the best coffee in the world. Love your content. Great laughs, sort of chuckle that builds up to a laugh. Congrats. I have a great laugh. Congrats on the new baby. God bless you and your wife and your young family a coffee for you, for her, and Lance too. Oh, I'll send it to him. Gen X, Jigsaw is 100% a foreign op. I was floored when Candace talked about the toxic mold. Since I was deathly ill from toxic mold a few years ago, I had all the symptoms she described and more. Brought more awareness to mold poisoning. Glad she did. Sorry, but she went what she went through that. Sorry, she went through that as well. It's horrific. The darkest days. Thanks for making me laugh every day, Coach. And congrats on your sweet growing family. Thank you very much. Officer Tatum, if I were to die, I would hope that my friends would be concerned about my family and not my platform, my family. Erica, we sold so many hats. My husband's memorial. Oh my gosh. You make me laugh every single day. Thank you so much. I think I read this one already. First time buying anything for anybody, period. Coach, I had to pause the episode. I was laughing out loud when you said, wait, have you heard of Candace Owens? Is that a knife? Are you the only one who makes me, you are the only one who literally makes me laugh out loud all through the day. Don't even get me started on Officer Tatum. It's the best. I love how you weave your faith, politics, impressions, tinfoil Speedo theories in a hilarious, positive way without cursing. And you look like you're having a blast doing it. Thank you. God bless you and your family. Christ is King. Yo no Erica, nunca. Christ is King indeed. Thank you so much. I'm listening while working, and everyone keeps looking at me, wondering what I'm laughing at. Thanks, Coach. Play it on a speaker. You should. From Australia, I think, unless that's another country I've never heard of. Australia, Coach. Why is the USA got Oz in it? Why is the USA got Oz in it? Because the USA has everything in it. Okay, greatest country in the world. Greatest country in the world. God damn it. Oh, so many people are gonna be mad. Like, you can't say goddamn. Okay, I'm sorry. F. I do like the sound. I'm from South Jersey, next to Philly, and I thought I heard you come. I just heard you come right out of my mouth. I hear it all the time from viewers, but I didn't hear it until you just did our accent. Why the F did Erica? Why the F does Erica, the fake assassin, think we give an F about her stupid lecture that nobody asked for? Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Okay, so now it's just repeating. Okay, perfect. You have me belly laughing. I've had a horrible day today, and I thought it was impossible to smile, let alone laugh out loud. Thanks for the shout out. You can call me Blue. I will call you Blue. You have to watch the last timestamp on Baron's podcast. Erica Battle Bun is so funny. Perfect. Coach, you must have gotten 8 hours of sleep last night. You got to clip those bits out. Dr. Gay and Slim Lady and the Charlie audio. Oh man, I should. There's so many here. Hold on. I have to go to the bathroom right now. Hold on a second, guys. Baron, keep him company for a second here. Come on, Baron.
Okay, I don't think it's correct. If it is, the news hadn't made X yet, but I just got a text that if so would be groundbreaking news. So I'll keep my eye on that while we're talking here. Okay. Now we continue. This is a good one here. Yeah, let's go down to paragraph 73 here. According to Owens' supposed tipster, there was no security plan in place at Charis Bible College. You remember that story, right? Everyone was concerned that Charlie was scheduled to go to.
So sorry, guys. Oh, there's just too much going on right now. I do have to get going, but I just want to share Mike Riley here. Nothing funnier in the world than you and the brother Tatum. This descriptive vernacular. It's wild. Erica Kirk is really slanging two different hats in her piss poor performance. I hope everything is great with the family. I'll be watching the show tomorrow live from the delivery room. Shout out to Mike. I will get to more of those later, and I will have to get to the super chats after throughout the weekend. I'm so sorry, guys. I really, really have to go. We have this doctor's appointment. It sucks, but I do have to get going. I'll read a couple here. You should buy a tin of Philadelphia mints. I'm going to. Super sticker. Thank you so much, Julie. Can you expand on meditation and altar that opened up evil things? I will do that in another episode, but there's a lot to it. Candace did the ultimate mic drop. Oh, Mikey McCoy. Thank you so much. You're the best part of my morning. Thank you for the humor and recaps and taking the time to be with us every day. Great job being a part of the Dream Team YouTubers. Stay on the path of truth, on the side of truth. Thank you very much. Thank you for being a member. Oh, geez. Sorry, guys. I thought of Officer Tatum last night while watching the Madagascar movie with my daughter. Marty the zebra says, "Oh, sugar honey iced tea." Oh, that's so funny. I didn't know that. Oh, I can hear the garage opening. Okay, we got to go. All right, that's the wife signaling. She's like, get out. Miss Chris Viggs cannot wait for the fallout of Turning Point. Hit the like button. One more. Have a feeling Mikey McCoy is very guilty and was trying to throw Andrew Colvette under the bus, and the whole op was not carried out well. I think so. And maybe he just doesn't like Andrew. Maybe he's never liked Andrew, you know? Maybe he wanted Andrew's position. Why would the spokesperson be next to Charlie all the time and not, Mikey, chief of staff? Candace is the new Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. She's the master. Turning Point is still playing fish. Yeah, seriously. I will have to get to the rest of these afterwards, guys. I just don't want to stop. Leak to the chat. Andrew Colvette. Looks like I know someone sent the screenshot to Aubrey. She sent it to someone, and then someone sent it to Andrew. Don't think Aubrey sent it directly to Andrew. That's actually a good theory. That would make sense. It's Turning Point Israel at this point. Turning Point USA passed away with Charlie. I think I'll end it right there. I'll have to read the rest of these during the weekend. I'm going to make 2 weekend episodes for sure, because there's more stuff that I wanted to cover, that I wanted to talk about, but I won't be able to do that right now. So sorry to cut it short. We are doing a members live today. And as soon as I get back home, I'll be able to actually make the announcement of what time, but we are going to be doing that. It's going to be me, the wife, the babies as well. So it's going to be a fun time. Thank you guys for coming out. Again, very sorry that I had to cut it short. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Expect some videos, and we will be back with the live show 10 a.m. sharp on Monday. Bye.